Justin.
Two really tough nights in a row for your relievers. What do you think is the biggest issue with your bullpen right now?
Yeah, I thought Carlos obviously threw the ball well, gave us a 6 strong there. Just didn't get much going offensively, and then kind of chipped away there. That inning, Doval comes in and gets a couple big outs after Mark got the strikeout. And then just obviously got away from us there in the in the 8th when Camilo went back out. So these nights are frustrating, obviously. But it's that time of year we gotta get over it and get ready for tomorrow. But obviously they've been able to really add on late in some close games early.
Last 2 nights against these Detroit pitchers, why do you feel like your offense hasn't gained much traction?
Yeah, I thought Flaherty was good tonight. I thought he was I thought he was getting some calls there at the bottom of the zone, and I thought he did a good job down there. Like he didn't seem to leave much up and out over the plate for us. I thought his command was really good, and his execution was really good. But obviously we just didn't mount much. We gotta create some traffic for ourselves, and that was a challenge for us tonight.
You touched on Carlos. He looked like he was rolling through the first 4 and then kind of slipped up a bit in the 5th. What did you see from him in that inning?
Yeah, I mean, has the walk and then the hit batter. But really thought buckled down good. Glaber put a good at bat on him, but it was a good competitive at bat. So he was still managing the contact against him. It wasn't getting hit real hard. And you sign up for 6 innings and 2 runs. Where he kind of cruised all night, had the one tough inning where he battled, and then goes back out and finishes strong in the 6th there to give us a chance. We just weren't mounting much.
Is this frustration with the bullpen more disappointing, where recently it feels like starters are getting those extra 3 outs consistently?
I don't know. Look, this is 2 days. I mean, the bullpen has been closing out some really important games for us of late. That's let us go on a pretty good run. These are 2 nights in a row where we haven't got it done, but we're also behind and chasing a little bit. Cruiser last night's been great. He had the hiccup. So, I think through this, there's been a lot of good. These last 2 nights have obviously been rough.
Ron and Clay, go ahead, give it to Clay.
Aaron, what did you see from Weaver tonight? Was it just one of those nights for him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I never want to bring Weave into a situation like that. But obviously, you get short and you kind of have to. I was going to go to Slater, and then Wells hits the homer to make it a 7-run game. So, I mean, you hate going to a guy in that situation, but if you go Cruz, then he's probably down tomorrow. And Weave's had the most rest between Williams and Bednar. So, just one of those situations where, they put a couple good swings on. They find a hole right out the jump with Perez, rolls one through the right side. And they put a couple good swings on him, but, not a situation, obviously, I like having them in.
Ron.
You mentioned coming in behind chasing. Do you think they come in a little bit just feeling they have to make perfect pitches?
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something to that, but look, I mean, we can dissect it a little bit. Like, Cruz had a rough outing, where, he lost the strike zone a little bit, and they didn't chase him necessarily. Weave's in a situation where he really shouldn't be in. And then, Leiter, I feel like, it's good to see him get the punch of Carpenter. I thought he made some really good pitches, and that's in line with who he is. But, I think starting last night, just a little inconsistent with the work. Probably we got to get him into a rhythm. And then Camilo did some good things, and then kind of having to go back out kind of loses his way a little bit. So, we got to do a better job, obviously, but, some tougher circumstances for some guys in these last 2.
Brian.
I wanted to ask you about Doval. What have you seen so far from him? I mean, he's a couple years from being an all-star.
Yeah, again, it's that mixed bag. You see, he flashes it. He'll flash that swing and miss with the slider. Obviously, it's a big arm with the cutter and the sinker. The strike throwing hasn't been great. And that's hurt him in some outings. Making sure we're staying on top of it and controlling the running game and things like that. So it's just been kind of inconsistent for him, and in a different kind of role for him, where you're going to a new team and you're in a different role and working through those challenges.
Chris.
Since the All-Star break, the bullpen has an ERA over 5 collectively. What gives you that confidence that they can figure it out in these next few weeks ahead of October?
Yeah, I mean, track record stuff, who they are. So obviously we got to get a couple guys on track so we create that depth that we can have down there. A bullpen ERA in short samples like that can be a little misleading, like when you have a handful of games where it really gets away and it gets blown up. I feel like, through this stretch of games where over the last month we've started winning, we've closed out a lot of good games too with guys capable of shutting people down. So this is what we have. I have a lot of confidence in their ability and their stuff, but we got to bring it together, and we haven't done that consistently enough yet. Can we do it? We're going to find out, and that's what we're going to need to do if we're going to make a big run at this.
Ron.
Did you know ahead of time that Austin could be a position player, pitcher in a situation like this, or did that come up during the game?
Yeah, that came up during the game. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
Coach, how would you assess your outing tonight?
Got a little groove there early on. They took some good at-bats, strung some hits together, but, in that fifth, you just go back and look at it. Just walking a lefty, it was on 4 pitches, it's just poor execution there. And had a Baez, a 9-hole, and was trying to throw that slider down and in and hit him in the foot, so just got to be better there in that situation. Fastball way to Glaber, puts a good swing on it, and they scratch 2 across. Obviously you want to put up 0 there, but just those 2 hitters, I go back and just want that slider back. Just want to execute that slider to Baez there.
After those 5 hitters and the next inning you give up a leadoff single, then you get the 3 outs. What were you able to do to kind of regain the presence and get those extra 3 go the extra?
Yeah, good swing by Torkelson there. There was fastball away. Just go attack. Try to get 3 outs as quick as I can and get the offense, up to hit. So that was it.
What is the mood like in here after what's happened the last couple of nights in the bullpen?
I had 2 tough losses. They seemed to swing the bat pretty well at the end of the game. The last 2 nights, string some hits together, some homers. It's just the way of baseball.
Overall, the 8 wins is a good number for right now, but against the teams that seem to be in playoff position, you guys have not had as much success. Is that a concern of yours?
These are good teams, obviously. It'll be concerned in the playoffs, not right now, really. Obviously we want to play better against those caliber of teams, but
Movement like this year. 2 games with the bullpen struggles.
Bad. Not happy. But not our. Still believe that we're going to win every game. So.
Also, just what's your confidence level in this bullpen?
Right now.
Just the way this unit is assembled currently, the way they've performed lately.
Oh, I have all the confidence in everybody. Everybody on the team, top to bottom. And there's no one else that I know everyone else would rather have out there. So we're going to work with what we got, and we're going to get it done. We expect to win every single time. So when we don't, we show up the next day and salvage the series tomorrow.
What do you think has been the biggest reason or reasons for the rough patch with the relievers lately?
I think one, we've played good teams. You can't get away with as much mistakes against teams like that. So I definitely think that they've made some good swings on some good pitches, and also we've put ourselves in holes. I think we're at our best when we're getting ahead. So I think that's kind of where we're at.
So why do you think it's been tough for the offense to gain any traction against Detroit's pitching these last couple of nights?
I think they've done a good job of mixing. We've hit some hard balls really right at guys that have turned into double plays or inning-ending plays. So I think we've hit the ball hard and we've turned the lineup over, but just haven't had a lot of results with it.
With 17 games left, do you find yourself checking the out-of-town scores at all day to day and seeing how other teams are doing?
Not really. I mean, just focus on what we have today, which is all you can really do. You said 17 games left. That's a lot of baseball. So I know we're going down to the final stretch, but we got to win every day.
You're still kind of getting to know him, but what have you thought of Camilo and the way that he's kind of pitched since he came over here?
I think that he's been solid, and I think that he's getting better. Honestly, I think that we're getting more comfortable working together. So, we got him for a reason, and he's going to go out there and get big outs for us. And I think he's getting better every time.
With Austin, did you use pitch com or just let him lob it up there?
Well, I asked him what he wanted to do, and he told me he wanted to throw 2 different pitches, but then he stuck with a 36-mile-an-hour pitch that was actually really good, so it worked well.
What would the second have pitch been?
Maybe like a 50-mile-an-hour pitch.
Did you use hand signals or?
I didn't do anything. I just kind of let him do his deal. Yeah.